In this video, I'm gonna show you how to create 3D car model with AI, game-ready topology, fixing textures, and also do the car rig. I promise that will be very easy, and afterwards, we're gonna set it up in Unreal and play it. Guys, Steph here, and today I'm gonna show you how to create car all with AI and run it in Unreal Engine. Let's get started. So as usual, first step is always reference. Of course, to make the car playable, we're gonna need to separate in components. Mainly, there is two components. It's car body and wheels. And here you can see all my reference. I created 5 views of the car just to make sure all the proportions are met. So we have front view, back view, both sides view, and this is important, there are no car wheels, since we're gonna need them as separate component to be able to rig it and make it playable. And I also additionally created top view, again to make sure the proportions are met. And at last there is wheel. I intentionally not making like very complex design just to show you the whole process. If you guys will like this tutorial, next time I'll create something more amazing. As a next step, we need to start creating 3D model. For the body, we're gonna go to Tencent Hunyuan, the Chinese version, which gives us 3.1 version. We're gonna choose multi-image, which support up to 8 image, and this is exactly what we're gonna use. I'm gonna add all 5 images that I prepared and select 500k poly count. When that's done, let's press generate. And after around few minutes, we get the model done. So here you can see, pretty much that's exactly what I need. The shape is okay, there are no wheels, and there is space for the wheel, which is also exactly what we need. There are some minor imperfections, but we will still redo the texture because we'll need to optimize it for game. I'm gonna download it as FBX since we're gonna use it for AI topology. Before we proceed with the body, we're gonna create wheel in different 3D AI, and we're gonna use Tripo and their low poly mod because some type of object it handles really well, and it will bake texture right away, which will save us a little bit time. So here I will choose texture. I will not choose PBR because I want to set it myself, and I will choose smart low poly here and keep it auto to allow it to decide what will be the reasonable poly count for it. And here you can see the model is done and it looks good. I mean, this is a circle, the topology is okay, the amount of polygons is very reasonable, not too much in the middle, pretty much good. And yes, as I said, it's already textured, so let's download it as GLB this time to keep the texture and continue. Guys, you can say I use different AI tools in this video, but there are many great tools depending on the purpose. To find best 3D AI tool, I created Top 3D AI, where you can see unbiased leaderboard with community votes of top 3D AI tools. You can compare them side by side, choose the best for you. I also recently added low poly mod so you can see how good AI topology is right now. Check it out, it's absolutely free and made for you. Now we're gonna go to 3D Studio, and this is an amazing tool where you can do AI topology, UV and wrap and stuff. If you don't have access there yet, go on the website, buy the link, and just join the waitlist. It is still free, you just might need to wait a little bit to get access. Here we're gonna need to go to the low poly mod. We're gonna just load the model that we prepared. After model is loaded, we can preview it, and now it's time to choose the poly count. So we're gonna choose high and quads, and I will skip time forward, and here we can see the optimized model. And look at this. This is pretty much game ready asset. Who's gonna say me that it's not? This will definitely do the job for us. Now the only problem that Hunyuan do not preserve the texture, and there is no option to bake the texture, but hopefully it will be at some point. Now here we're gonna go to the texture mode and choose to upload multi-image, and we're gonna select all same images that we did before, and let's press generate. After a while we get the texture done. So you might see there are some imperfections in the texture which we're gonna address very soon, and that's very easy to address. I will introduce the painting tool in Blender, and we're gonna fix it in minutes. Okay, so we're gonna open Blender and I just drag and drop the GLB model and I also imported the wheel. Let's hide the wheel and let's focus on the car. The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna fix shading a little bit. So we're gonna go to this menu, find geometry data and press clear custom split normal data. Then we're gonna go to modifiers, find normal and smooth by angle. That will make the car look a little bit sharper so you can see like with and without. I will adjust the angle a little bit so my shape are a little bit better. That might actually be very useful for any hard surface objects. Also, now let's address the problem with the texture. So I'm gonna open the shader editor. You can go to the shading tab or you can select it like I did just right now. Then I'm gonna adjust the roughness and metallic, so to make my car look more like metal car. Okay, so that's gonna do the job. Let's go to the tab called texture paint, and here you can see the texture. I'm pressing dot button on the numpad to focus on the specific object which is selected, and dot on the numpad again to exit that focus mode. That's how we can go between wheel and car. So here we're gonna need just one tool called stamp. So the right click on anywhere will basically set a source to paint. So let's say if I put it on the black area, it will paint with the black. Here I put in some color like near color and I'm using dot color to paint. And you can see as easy as it can be, I'm just fixing some stuff. And just like that, I'll just sharpen the edges. But if you want to add some prints and stuff, you can use the modif tool. Check out my other video how we do cool painting like the Batman and other characters. That also can be done with the car. This time will not focus on that, but let me know if you need more tutorials about that. And yeah, that modif tool is still free. Check it out. But why using Blender? Because we need a targeted specific fix just to sharpen some lines. Okay, my texture done. Now let's save the texture. You go to image, save as, and save texture somewhere, or just save it so it's saved in the same model. I think we are done with the car body. Now let's prepare the wheel. The first thing, since we exported it from Tripo, we're gonna go to edit mode, press M on the keyboard, or you can press right click and find merge vertices and by distance. So you can see it merged 22,000 vertices, which is ouch. Now we go and also do clear custom split normals, right click on the object and select shade smooth. Okay, that will fix the basic shading problems, and that's pretty much all we need to do with shading here. I'm gonna just squeeze the car wheel a little bit. It is too wide in my opinion to fit the car, and now let's basically position the car wheel and scale it so it fits the wheel bay. Now to perfectly position wheels, we're gonna go and do a few tricks, which is important basically. Well, we're gonna select car, press right click on it, set origin and choose origin to geometry. That will set its origin in the middle. So then we can go to the wheel, go and find mirror modifier and choose mirror object the car with the right pivot. And that's very important. If the pivot of the car is incorrect, the mirroring will not work. And here you can see it mirrored pretty nicely. And if I adjust one wheel, it will adjust the another as well. And when you're happy with the position, you can apply it, and we can also shift D and duplicate them to a rear bay. All right, so when position is set, now we're gonna need to separate them and set the origin of the wheel exactly in the center. Here's how we can do that. We're gonna go to edit mode and I'm gonna select one wheel like that to make sure the X-ray mode is enabled. I'm gonna press Alt P and choose selection. Now we have separate wheel. Here you can see my origin is wrong, and if I try to rotate it, it will not be rotated around the center. So what you need to do is hold shift and right click somewhere in the center, then without a shift right click, set origin 3D cursor, and try to make it rotating exactly around the center. If it's not, try again. And here you can see I did it, and I'm pretty happy with the result. Okay, so now my wheel rotating very well. You're gonna need to do that for each wheel. There are other techniques. We can go to edit mode. We can try to, let's say, select whole middle polygon like this. You're gonna press Shift S and let's say cursor to selected. And it will try to position the cursor according to this center. Or we can try to do the whole thing, Shift S, cursor to selected. But you can see, since the object is bigger, it might go somewhere else. But sometimes it might give you the good result. In my case, I just figured out like it myself with holding Shift, then in object mode, right click again, set origin to 3D cursor, and my wheel is spinning nicely. Okay, so that's done. Now let's go to the material and adjust the wheel material a little bit. So we're gonna reduce the roughness and the metallic a little bit, so they look more like car wheels. And now the final step in Blender will be to actually rig it. First of all, let's press on our car body, apply the modifiers if they still exist, and let's give it like a decent naming. Let's call the body and wheels according like front, left, front right, rear left, rear right. And when that's done, there will be a free add-on link in the description that we're gonna need to prepare it for Unreal Engine. So now we're gonna select all objects. So here is the red X you can see here, and we need to make sure it like faces X plus. So I rotated the model like this. You can also use controllers to do this rotation. I rotated all objects at once. And one important thing that we always need to do is to select all objects, Ctrl A on the keyboard. And that's important, only do rotation and scale, do not set all transform. That will set scale and rotation to default values as saying that the object is in its default state. Make sure all your objects are in rotation 0 and scale 1. And now we can open that UE4 vehicle rig. As simple as it can be, we just need to select the parts. So vehicle base, select like that. When all parts selected, you can press set unit scale and do not do upscale objects. And finally, let's press rig vehicle. And here we go. We can see already bones, and that bones exactly what we need. And now let's export it. So we're gonna file export it as FBX. Let's name it car Unreal. Here, make sure we select object types, armature and mesh, path mode, copy. Press that button, and forward will be X forward, since that's why we rotated the model, and up will be Z up. So that's how we make sure our model will appear the same way as we set it in Blender. We're almost there. Last thing, in armature, disable add leaf bones so it doesn't add like extra bones, and we can disable animation. Whew, that's all the things we need. Press export and let's move on to the Unreal Engine. Okay, so we're gonna open Unreal Engine, create new project. Here we're gonna select vehicle, basic settings, name it as you want it, and press create. Wait a little bit and let's jump inside. Here you can see already a track, and you can even press a play button, which will allow you to run a default vehicle. We're gonna replace that vehicle with the one we created. Let's maximize the content browser. Let's create new folder, car 911, and let's import our car here with default settings. All right, so it should be looking like that. We should have skeletal mesh, physical asset, and skeleton. Now we can drag and drop it here to preview, and let's start adjusting. The first thing, we're gonna go to the physical assets, double click it, and we need to set a collision. And by default, it gives it a capsule collision, which we don't need. So we're gonna select all wheels like this. Instead of primitive, we're gonna choose sphere, and we can press regenerate bodies, and that's the collision type we need. With capsules, it will not work. Also in physical type, we're gonna set to kinematic, and in collision response to disable it, so it's not a conflict with the body. For the body itself, we also need to change it to the box, uncheck auto orient to the bone, and also press regenerate. Here it is. I think that's totally fine. And lastly, select all objects and make sure you press the disable collision. It should looking like this. That's pretty much done with the collision. Now we can move to creating blueprints of a car and wheels. But before that, make sure that your plugin, Chaos Vehicle plugin, is enabled. It should be enabled by default if you're using latest version of Unreal Engine. But in case, double check. If that's enabled, you go to the browser, right click, and let's create a blueprint class. We need to find BP Vehicle Advanced Pawn Base. Let's select it. Let's call it BP911. Now open these blueprints, and here we're gonna go to mesh, and here in mesh choose our mesh. So car Unreal Engine, and you can see the camera is actually placed in a nice position. You can adjust the camera depending on how big your wheel is, something like that, but that's totally customizable. Now let's go and create a blueprint for a wheel. It is called Chaos Vehicle Wheel. Okay, let's create. We're gonna need to create it for both front wheel and rear wheels. Name first BPFYY, and next one will be RV. Now let's open the first one, and here we just gonna need to set the axle type front for the front one, and we also need to set the wheel radius and width. To figure it out, we can go to the scene, choose the top perspective, zoom a little bit to the car, and also choose the wireframe mode. Here you will be able to measure it like this. And here I know that my wheel is around 40 to 100. That's exactly what we're gonna set. So for the radius, it will be around 40, and for the width, it will be 45. And in wheel setup, we can also enable affected by steering. When that's done, we can go and press compile to make it ready. In the car, we also need to compile. Let's open our rear wheels, set the same values. Axle type will be rear, and since our car is like RV, then we need to choose like affected by handbrake and affected by engine. Pretty much real car simulation, and press compile as well. Now we need to go to the car blueprint and choose the wheels. So we're gonna press the vehicle movement component, and here in wheel setup, we just need to maximize it and set our correct wheels. So for the front wheels, we're gonna choose our class called BPFYY, and for the rear accordingly. And for the bond names, we're gonna need to set them same way as they are in our car, and you can go back to the physics assets to see the names. So it will be FL1, FR1, and so on. And lastly, I don't like the material, so I'm gonna show you how to recreate it like instead of imported material. Right click, material, let's call it like just car, and open it. By default, it creates PBR material, and we're gonna drag a node from base color and create texture sample. And texture sample is somewhere we can actually add our texture. Let's find our car texture. All right, and just set the properties right. So it will be something around 0.5, and the roughness will be around 0.3. Let's press apply. Now let's go to our skeletal mesh, and here on top there will be material, and let's replace matte car to our material that we created here. Okay, here it is. Sometimes, depending how you import objects in Unreal Engine, it might create nicely looking materials, but it's always better to recreate them. Here's the more or less look that I expected, and for wheels, I think we can keep it. Don't forget to press compile, otherwise you'll not see the changes. And now we are all set. If we press play button right now, of course, there will be no car that we created. So we're gonna need to go edit, project settings, search for defaults, and find default pawn class and choose our BP911. All right, when it's done, select close, press play button, and enjoy. Here we go, guys. The car is in the game, the one that we just generated with AI 10 minutes ago, and it works. How cool is that? Guys, I'm sure you can create better cars, and I'm making small contest in my Discord channel when this video is going live. For those who will create the best looking car, 100 USD that could be spent like on any 3D AI of your choice. Can't wait to see what you're gonna create. That was Steph. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one.